But Rita and James, speaking of the bedwetters, a polite term, obviously, for frauds who get into the Liberal Party by pretending to be vaguely conservative and then eagerly embrace inner-city Greens policies, a pretty good clue as to who not to vote for at the next election is anyone, Rita and James, endorsed by GetUp. And that includes these MPs, and I'll happily name them, who last week were publicly thanked by GetUp for standing up to the climate wreckers. And they are the so-called modern Liberals: Katie Allen, Tim Wilson, Jason Falinski, Dave Sharma and Trent Zimmerman. As I said, being embraced by GetUp should be reason for instant dis-endorsement by any self-respecting local Liberal branch. Alternatively, if any of these five are your candidates at the next election, put them last. Rita?
Well, is this some sort of a kiss of death? I can't imagine any of those MPs would be particularly thrilled about this endorsement from GetUp. Most people who vote for the coalition and are aware of GetUp know them as a leftist activist group. Why would they... I can't imagine they'd be happy about this endorsement. I wonder what damage it will do, because clearly you're not enjoying it. And,
well, they should have thought about that, James, before they started behaving like Greens. That might help. That might have been the clue when they started behaving like Greens, James.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's also remember the other bit here. GetUp is absolutely suffering a total attack of relevance deprivation disorder. They have got no standing anymore after the last election, when basically they went out to a whole huge swathe of seats. You know, everybody that they tried to get rid of, except for Tony Abbott, they failed miserably in their attempts. Their supporters revealed themselves to be the lowest, nastiest grubs out there, in the way a lot of them and people associated with them conducted themselves. So really what I feel like this is, they are now trying to stir the pot within the coalition here as we start to look at when is the next election, when are pre-selections coming up. And this is, you know, this is a very cynical game that a bunch of cynical lefties are trying to play for their own purposes. They don't have the climate at heart, they have power.
Well, perhaps those individuals might start putting forward policy recommendations that don't align with GetUp, Rita.
Well, yes, and I wonder if this will have the reverse impact, where some of these smaller Liberals will be too frightened to get on this list, and will moderate some of their Green antics. Because
well, so they should, Rita.